Starting off with a warm up, mobility, arm circles across the front. What we're really trying to do is begin to gently wake up the body to the idea that you're about to enter into something a little bit more challenging, because injuries are real. I like gentle mobility, sort of hopping around, and also some like flexing. There's a little bit of flexing right there, squeezing the biceps, squeezing the chest muscles. Quads, a little pounding on the chest, flexing the back, triceps, abdominal muscles, a little bit of hopping around. What we're trying to do with these daily movement workout sessions is just have something that you could put on music to and enjoy and work out. So here I'm doing something I came up with, which is kind of like a jab and boxing drill, trying to maintain a decent stance, balanced, feeding one ball. I'm using lacrosse balls there. Feeding one up and catching it. Takes some hand-eye coordination, some got to focus on your stance a little bit, some hitting, circling both ways. So like with music on and doing complex activities, you can turn it into something you look forward to. At least that's what happened for me. You find some exercises that you can do in such a way where you feel engaged. Meanwhile, time's ticking off the clock. You're in the middle of a phenomenal workout, which is infinitely beneficial. So I'm just hitting the other side, switching stances. Okay, so there's that. This is another sort of a boxing style drill. Still focused on that jab with the lacrosse ball. I really love this thing in terms of just turning on the brain, tracking something, being accurate, specific. Feels like I'm watching Charlie Chaplin movies, but imagine some guy in the woods like, what are you doing down there? Okay, so now we're going to simulate the old sledgehammer. It's a very realistic simulation here, and this is great because you can get it into some circular movement and very powerful core finish. You know, whether you do these different types of things that I touch on, like for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 3 minutes. I've heard of a world-class boxer who does this supposedly for 30 minutes straight, what I'm doing right here. So, I mean, I did 2.5 minutes the other day, and it felt very, very challenging. So you just kind of enter in, something like this, enter in gently if it's new to you, and then increase it in such a way. What we're going for is challenging and invigorating. Meanwhile, you're enjoying the music. You're coming up with your own challenges mentally while it's all going down. I mean, what would be better would be, clearing a stump out of someone you love's backyard that needs it done. Do something practical first for yourself or for others. But if you still haven't done anything that day, then get out there and do something. I'm doing some kind of specific judo we used to call fits or uchikomi. And I just couldn't believe that I could get this dude to be a decent judo partner for me. This changed my life completely. I mean, this is one of the greatest discoveries of my life right here, what you're witnessing. And we can get into the specifics on how-tos and all that. And, whether, again, you're a beginner or advanced, I'm just doing my thing here. The thing that I'm loving is how much I love doing this every day, because I just move from one thing to the next freely. Some inside trips. Meanwhile, again, music's on. I'm hitting that sort of moderate level intensity. Sometimes I crank it up to a little bit more intensity. At times I go high intensity, but in general, during this phase, I'm going after something more than low intensity personally. But there's some Seoinage, one arm shoulder throw, Ippon Seoinage. So, if you are someone who does nothing right now, what we want to get to is increase to between 1 to 20 minutes of low intensity per day. Walking, gardening, dancing. Once you can maintain that and you feel good with that, you can move into some more moderate stuff. And everything I'm doing could be done low, medium, or high intensity. The key is we find something that we do consistently. And to me, I'm noticing that the things I look forward to is what I can keep doing consistently. I saw some baseball strength and conditioning coach teaching a boxer something about punching, and I always thought it would be fun to do this. It's nice because you can really give it your all. Trying to create a kind of a snap here. Something watching How to Swing a Bat by Tony Gwynn. First time I ever knew anything about that in my life was just a month ago. It's amazing how this dude takes abuse. Just some. If you do anything like this without wraps or without boxing gloves, it's extremely critical that you maintain a straight line from your knuckle all the way to your elbow. And you focus more on that than you do on your landing, because it's very easy to hurt your wrists if you are not. So and when I'm doing something like this, I'm focusing more on aligning everything more than I am on intense contact or impact. Just something like I guess they're calling this a farmer's carry or something. I just like focusing on standing incredibly upright and using your strength to sort of drive your head and neck upwards in a straight line, like despite having that weight going against you. So I like that one a lot. I like the idea of explosive movements that require a total body. To me, this seems like the most obvious type of. I guess I picked this up from hearing how Ernie Shavers worked on the farm by throwing bales of hay and chopping down trees for 10 years. It sounded like maybe between ages 10 and 20 or 11 and 21. So I was trying to simulate that with this medicine ball and with the sledgehammer. the music, the outdoors, that's what makes it. And then meanwhile, when we start going through, you already know what it's like, but the more you dig into all the different benefits of movement, whether it be low, medium, or high, they each have their own tiers of benefits as well. But anything other than sitting on the couch immediately starts benefiting you. And I'm also someone who wishes I would have not given so much time to working out during my teenage years. I wish there was more balance between other key areas of life. But at the same time, there's a certain amount we all need and crave and want. And during that time, let's make it incredibly, I'd like to discover something through this project that an even higher level. I consider the idea of this is a little bit of sort of shadow judo. But imagine just being at a water park, walking up the steps so you can slide down. That walk up is one of the greatest workouts in the world. Dancing, any of your favorite sports, done with a friend, taking a walk with a friend at the low level, at the low intensity level, but still something you can do consistently, something that you still get benefits from, a little bit of shadow wrestling. So we're going to build our daily sort of stations that we can rotate between with music, if you choose. And a little bit of wrestling here. That bass at the bottom kind of gets in the way of a lot of things that wouldn't, but I happen to have a very steep hill here. Just again, going back into the stands, maintaining the. Once you find your stance, you then want to, when you move, you always move slightly wider. And then back to neutral. You don't want to come closer in any direction. That's always going to be sort of a rule. Side to side, everything. Someone called about needing a lawnmower or a lawn cut. It's not really that heavy of a lawnmower, but now using lacrosse balls once again. Now feeding it off the ground. The right hand's feeding it. Oh no, this is still up in the air. Same as the other idea. Staying in the stance. Focusing on catching the ball precisely. The world's going to thank me for this one. I don't know if there's a way to patent a something like this. If I sold this on Shark Tank, the fact that this demonstration doesn't show anything hides the entire activity. This is the one I was talking about feeding off the ground. So this is kind of nice too. It's like another version. You can either attack it right off the ground, or let it get up there and then go after it. There's a right off the ground. I'm just trying to keep both going here whilst kind of staying in somewhat of a stance. I mean, all this stuff looks fun, but I would definitely much rather be playing ping pong. But at the same time, ping pong doesn't get you all the stuff that all this different stuff gets you, especially with the power of the sledgehammer and the medicine ball throws. Like this right here. Do this anytime you're in a mental slump throughout the days. Or the other thing, like this is kind of at any point in the day when you feel a mental lull, just do that one sort of this or that jab where you feed the ball up into the air and you hit it with the catch jab. Back to the old. So I guess at this point, yeah, I just wanted to share a daily workout because, I mean, these terms like workout and movement, again, we should probably be just using our bodies to solve real problems in our own lives, physical problems that we need to do. And if we don't have any, then go do them for someone else. Can we create a network where, like one time when we gutted a house, it was the hardest workout for 3 days, or at least, I forget how long it lasted, but very tough workout. But build your own sort of obstacle course at home somewhere. Start share with us your favorite exercises that could add to this. Hit us with any questions. If you'd like to do kind of a retreat somewhere, kind of something where we can experience these in some type of inspired location. Could be anywhere, as you can see, as long as there's a little piece of earth. You can do a version of this in your hotel room when you're traveling. But let's find, this is something over in the course of future episodes. This is just sort of a version of a pummel drill from sort of Greco-Roman wrestling, and this isn't a great example because of my partner here. If I had an actual person, and then so I was trying to show the connection between. This is definitely not good, but the footwork is kind of similar on those two things. Or at least the hip movement is kind of similar, actually. I saw something where Shane Mosley was doing this thing right here, and how he was saying in boxing, there's all that going on, and it reminded me of the pummel. So at the end of my 25 minutes of all that other stuff, I do either a Tabata or one or two muscle groups, and I just do one set to failure. I came across that through these Arthur Jones videos. It's nice because you can really get down to business when you know you only have one set to make everything happen. You can go through a lot of different types of mental challenges. I'm still on the same set. I'm just transitioning from, at this point, it's like, I remember, I was thinking when I got up from this that it could be good to kind of go to full collapse, potentially. And I know there's differing ways of looking at all these things, and there's a lot of different, I just like this for the incredible time saving element. So that's that on that. And then I moved into I do these dips by pushing this sort of portable dishwasher. And then needed more space. that was just an example where I put it, just finishing off the triceps with a little bit of kickbacks. Again, just 2 body parts, sort of to burn out, complete failure. Different than the original 25-minute cycle. You're just paying attention to how you feel after everything. In terms of, how much body work you need, how much stretching, massage guns, massage sticks, rest. So these are some woods out back, and I was just thinking how great it would be to work a trail down there, because it could work our way as far as 1,000 feet down, basically, or about 800 feet. But this is me almost making it down to the first tier, which is 300 to 500 feet down, and that's looking back upward to where we were. But this is going to be a new piece of the puzzle for the daily sessions. Because you kind of have to grab stuff. This is pretty steep. You kind of have to grab stuff along the way. So that's where we're at. I kind of want to share this in such a way where it's just something that people can dabble in themselves. Share with us what you come up with. Maybe film yours. Maybe, ask questions. Join the movement toward getting stronger, getting healthier, and enjoying it.